So glad to be here. Oh, perfect. Welcome.
Yes.
You survived the rain.
I did.
Oh my God.
I did.
You were driving in it, weren't you?
Driving it just a little bit.
How long was the drive? We're not even going to talk about it.
Okay.
Oh
But
my
I'm
goodness.
Here. I'm here.
You're here.
I'm here.
Perfect.
Awesome.
So we're going to walk you around, just kind of show you Medix. And you're just focused on like philanthropic efforts and Medix. So you'll meet with Andrew later this afternoon.
I know Steve on the other
She's also on our piano team.
Okay. So awesome.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times they don't know what this stuff means. This is all grit right here, right? If you know anything about this player right here, he's all grit. And really, I was brought up. My mom was a janitor. My dad was a baker. I was a latchkey kid, so I got home from school, and no one was home, right? So I was home alone. I had to fend for myself. And create leaders out of your system to run divisions, to run companies, create new companies, because a lot of times people want to be kind of the guy, right, or the gal, and then they want to have everybody here, and that doesn't work, right? It doesn't work for us. So and then education. So Jim Collins, my favorite author,
Yes.
right? I'm going to spend 2 days with him next week. It's going to be amazing. But it's so funny because I'm a big sports guy. The only autographed book I have in here is his, and I have it in a case. And at this conference, I mean, he shed some tears and he's crying. He's really sincere about a lot of things. And then you know, family, obviously, and my religion. So I'm very faithful, I'm very spiritual, but it's difficult sometimes.
So you talk about leadership,
Yeah.
and that's important to me because another side of who I am is a leadership trainer for the John Maxwell team.
Oh, okay, great.
Do you know John
Yeah,
Maxwell?
yeah.
And so I work with different schools. Like I have the College of Lake County. I'll do some training with them next month, communications for the
Great.
staff team,
Yeah, yeah.
etc. But leadership is so important to me simply because we all have a leader within. But like you mentioned, you said everyone sometimes wants to be that gal,
Yeah.
or be that guy,
Yeah.
and have people down there, right? But leadership is building and then duplication. And you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
well,
I
you got to
see-
multiply.
Look at what 10. You have 10 locations. I heard.
14.
Well, she needs to get 14.
14.
locations.
That's all right.
14, but see, the vision is supposed to grow. You
Yeah.
know, without a vision, how do you move forward? It's like
Yeah.
a blueprint.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm pretty much, you know, my creational purpose, I just tapped into, and I'm spiritual as well, I'm a Christian. But I just believe that my pain has become my testimony, my pain has become my story, and my pain has become the blueprint to help other single mothers to develop their own subjective blueprint. That's what I'm called to do. This is what makes me smile at night. It makes me smile in the morning when I know that, yes, well, you know, I know what it's like to have money because I've been blessed to be in that position, but I also know what it's like not to have,
Yeah.
you know? And because
Yeah.
I can go either way, my goal is to come in the middle and say, hey, well, you know, let me help you. But I also know that, you know, being in social service and in the community, not everyone really wants to help. We don't give handouts.
No.
We give hand-ups.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
Yeah.
we do. Our services are free, but they're free to those who desire them.
Yeah. People say to me all the time, because I'm sometimes too to the right of being generous. They're like, you don't have to do that. And I'm like, I know I don't have to do
Right.
that. I realize I don't have to do anything. But more often than not, people do this. This is my house. This is my family.
Exactly.
These are my things, and everybody else on the outside is on the outside.
Yeah.
I have to take care of my stuff first. They don't realize that if everything around them works, that they work even better,
Absolutely.
right? It's got to be a balance.
It has to be a balance.
Completion of my GED, and I have successfully purchased my own home.
expertise in my research center that I became a homeowner, and I'm so grateful for this organization like this is much needed in the world. So I'm sorry I couldn't come and tell you guys my story, so I wanted to send a short video. Just to say, thank you, and we appreciate the donation of the book bags. There's going to be so many moms, such as myself, who's in need of school supply and things for their children. So we just want to say thank you, and thank you, teams on Single Mom Research Center.
I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come here. And I said, I was talking to Meghan. I said, am I really corporate? Am I corporate material? I'm more community, you know what I mean? But no, truly, I just wanted to share a little bit about my story. 20 years ago, I was a broken-hearted, depressed, suicidal, pregnant teen. I was a sophomore in college. I went to college on a full track scholarship. I used to run track. And in school, for me, my focus was sports. I felt like, if I was great at sports, that would encourage me in terms of the academics to pass my classes, because I had to be on that track on Friday, right? And so I originally went to college on a full track scholarship. And then I did really well my freshman year, became All-American. And then my sophomore year, we win and lose by the decisions that we make in life. We have to live with the outcome of our decisions. I did everything my mother prayed I wouldn't do. I was in college and I turned up. And long story, I did. And long story short, I became pregnant. And so here I am pregnant. And my thinking at the time was, what kind of mother would I be at 19? Because I saw myself on the track and field, and I saw myself, moving forward as an athlete. And I really didn't think highly of myself outside of track and field. So that was like my bubble, right? And so I was thinking about aborting my child. I was thinking of all these other thoughts. Not to know that when I got home, my parents would love on me. They wouldn't judge me. And it was because of their love that I decided to hang up my shoes and have my baby. And that was when God let me know that I was going to begin to start a new race. And this new race would be to empower other people. I didn't know how that would look for me because I had a high school education. When you have a high school education, you really don't have options. You don't have a lot of bargaining power in life. So I was working, I got married at 20. We said I do. We didn't know what that meant. I do the dishes, you do the laundry. What does that mean? And so, he was on a full basketball scholarship, etc. And we were just going through it. We were in survival mode. And so he dropped out of college, and here we are both, young and married with our baby. And it's my son right now. He's recording. Hey. Here we are, we're working in factories, doing this and that, and trying to struggle and be this married couple, not emotionally mature yet, yelling at each other. I and Tina Turner, I'm just saying. We were that. And I ended up having my second son. I had two sons. We have two sons, and they're 3 years apart. And so the marriage didn't last. I was 23 years old when I got a divorce, and I had my second son. And from there, at 23, I got kicked out of my apartment, sleeping on an air mattress in my mother's home, no job, and I'm looking at, and I'm like, Lord, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I have two kids. Society is looking to me to raise these two young men to have integrity, to operate with great character. You understand what I'm saying? So what am I going to do? And that's when I clearly heard, and people said, how did you hear? What voice did you hear? I just clearly heard, go back to school. Like literally, it was just go back to school. And for me, go back to school for what? Because I'm not running track anymore. What does that mean for me? I didn't think that I was smart enough. I have an older sister who went to school, and she's straight A's, and you have that whole comparison factor. But when you take away something that I love, what will be the motivation for me to go back to school? It was those two brown faces that looked at me every single day. And so that I made up my mind that I was going to go back to school and I wasn't going to stop. I was going to utilize school like I ran track every single day. I was going to pursue my education like I pursued that finish line and wanted to be first, right? So that's what was my motivation. So I went back to school, started at a community college. And oh my goodness, y'all just don't know. I'm trying to tell you, I started at a community college and I was working part-time at a fitness center. $7.50 an hour is what I earned for 3 years, $500 a month, $6,000 a year, and I denied public aid. I walked into the public aid office and I told the caseworker, I just need a medical card, my sons need insurance, I don't want the public aid. She said, well, I never had anyone to deny public aid, baby. I said, well, I said, one day, I'm in school, and one day I'm going to be successful, but I don't want the public aid because I didn't want that to cripple me. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't want that to be another additional factor as to why I shouldn't. You know what I mean? So I denied the public aid, received the insurance, continued to work hard as a fitness trainer. I was in there coaching people, okay? How to get fit, how to get right, etc. Going to school at night. I was having a hard time with math. I forgot what an obtuse angle was, Listen, it was rough. But every time I was go home, my mother was there to support me. My parents were very supportive. I would see my 2 brown faces. And that was motivation for me to get up and go see that tutor again. Get up and go do it again and move forward. Long story short, I continue to write down, here I am at the gym, and I would sit there at the desk and I would write down, okay, associate's degree, bachelor's degree, master's degree, PhD. I brought it up. I'm just a basic algebra. Why am I saying PhD? But something was in me to pursue the highest of the highest. And so from there, long story short, with consistency, dedication, hard work, and prayer, you can be and do anything you want to do in life. It matters not where you start. It matters where you end and how you're trying to get there. And because I was an athlete, I've always had that competitive drive in me. And so I couldn't see myself giving up, even though it was difficult and I had to realize a straight line was just that, a straight line in geometry. But my point is this, is that I pursued my education with a made-up mind that my sons would not have to live in poverty. I already knew that I was a part of a statistic. There's 12 million single parents in this country, and 80% of them are single mothers, and half of them are living below poverty. I didn't want to be a part of that half. You understand? If I could help it. So moving forward, I received my associate's degree, and that felt like a PhD to me because I was just associate's degree, but I never walked the stage. I just kept moving forward. I would wash cars on the side. I didn't have any shame with me. I coached track for 2 years while working at the same time and going to school at night. I was driven to succeed because my kids and I had, once we divorced, he went on. And when he went on, 2 years later, I discovered, and he didn't let us know, that he had to do 25 years in prison because of the decision that he made when he moved out of state. 25 years in prison. So my sons will never see their dad again. I can't give up. They're looking to me. I don't have any help. I'm too proud to go into public ed. I didn't want that. So I couldn't stop, y'all. I had to keep going. So I got my associate's degree. I said, okay, that's good. Got my bachelor's degree in psychology. Okay, from there at 27 years old, I got my first big break, is what I call it, my real job. I started working at the Boys and Girls Club of Lake County. And before I started working there, remember I was making $7.50 an hour. I said, okay, God, I know I have no experience beyond cleaning this fitness, equipment and helping people. But my first job, can I please earn $20 an hour? Okay, God? And, and I just talked to God. And so, really didn't know how to put together a resume, but I was real honest with my resume. And I put together a resume, and I applied for a position at Boys and Girls Club. The lady called me back, very professional. So, long story short, went on the interview. I just began to tell my story, and I'm willing to learn. I'm teachable, whatever you want to do, And she said, you know what? I believe this is divine. I'm going to hire you. I'm going to give you an opportunity, and I'm going to pay you $20 an hour. I didn't want to jump right then, but in my heart.
Okay, so thank you so much for coming in today.
I like it here. Thank you for having me.
Well, first of all, your just spirit is awesome. I love it. Like a couple of days ago, I was just thinking about school supplies. Now I'm not thinking about school supplies. I'm thinking about what the school supplies are for and the story behind it. It's just a totally different experience being in the room versus just like, oh, get up some school supplies. So
Yeah.
thank you for coming in, because it just touched my heart in a way. And I'm sitting back, I'm weepy to begin with, and it was awesome, just awesome to
He
hear your
cries all
story.
the time.
Give me some. So I just loved it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So we're gonna pass that some of the back.
Hello. We're having a great day.
Yes, we are.